But I know he wanted $14 million.
Come on.
I know he wanted $14 million.
The rule is if I don't know, you're supposed to know, and if I know, I don't tell you.
Honestly, I've been tuning out Le'Veon Bell news just because it feels like it's been going on forever. Like I feel like
5 years.
Yeah, and I feel like part of it is because we already dealt with this whole thing with AB for 3 years too before Le'Veon Bell, and now it's just kind of tuning it out. And the fact that he's a running back just makes it even worse. And I'm just like, bro, we get it. You want more money. They're not going to give it to you. So what's really going to be the solution? Like, are you really going to sit out like you're saying you're going to say, like you've been saying, or?
Plot twist. So, Le'Veon Bell, he said, I'm not looking at this contract as me being a running back. I'm looking at it as me being an offensive weapon, a offensive producer. And if you look at the fact that he had like over 2,000 yards from scrimmage, he's right. He pretty much plays receiver, plays running back. He does a little bit of everything. He blocks. You cannot just sit up here and say, oh, he's only a running back. He does more than almost anybody.
I don't disagree with you at all.
So he should be paid for that.
I
and
don't
if Antonio
disagree
Brown
with,
could run the ball the way Le'Veon could, then guess what?
I don't disagree.
You wouldn't need him.
I don't disagree with you at all, but, well, on the tangent that you just brought up, AB does do a lot. He's a yard after catch guy. He's a bubble screen guy. He blocks. So you really don't need to disrespect.
No, I'm not disrespecting him, but I'm saying
Antonio Brown
Bell,
too.
like Antonio Brown's not getting 300 carries a year.
But anyways, back to my original point. I completely agree with you, but as you and I know over our lifetimes, running backs are replaceable. They've been replaceable.
Shout out to Chris Comer and Friday Night Lights, Boobie Miles. All the running backs cried when Boobie Miles tore his ACL. All the linemen just sat there in disappointment because we knew.
You're just really like in a sad and dark place today, huh? Because you keep bringing it there.
I'm like, I know how Kawhi feels.
Yeah, but I think it's inaccurate. I think Kawhi knows how you feel. Like, for a long period of time. Probably for like a decade.
like longer than Kid Cudi's impact on music?
Yeah, probably.
Damn, that's true. Because I didn't find out about Kid Cudi until like the end of high school, junior year.
The point I was trying to make is, I get it, but we already saw this whole scenario play out with Jimmy Graham.
I mean,
it's
Antonio Brown.
No, Jimmy Graham, when he wanted to be paid as a receiver, but he was a tight end. What'd he get?
But that's
tight end money.
That's different, though.
It's really not. It's the same. It's the same idea. Okay. It's the same idea. The idea is you see me one way, I see myself another way, and my numbers prove I'm another way. But guess what? As we've already talked about before, the last 2 segments ago, is it comes down to power, and until that power changes, you're going to be what they say you are. So you can either stand in line, take your paycheck, or you can go be like Chris Borland and invest in a bunch of stuff and
probably
keep your knees and your
brain.
Or but no,
you could either be Carmelo Anthony, take the money and then get traded, or be Nerlens Noel, turn down $90 million and then get stuck with $2 million somewhere else.
Instead, we get Le'Veon Bell every year holding out and just showing up at training camp. Same with Antonio Brown. Shout out to our boy Ray, Full Press Coverage, who said there should be a Madden holdout edition where Antonio Brown just shows up, like,
and all the holdouts just aren't on
day
Madden.
of, week of, like, yeah, it's just a blank cover, and then week of, it's like a hologram. You move it, and then it just shows up.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, ultimately, it's the same thing with Julio Jones. Like, Julio Jones,
Julio just got screwed on.
We've talked about it before. Julio Jones, he's one of the top. He's arguably the best receiver right now.
If you're starting a team,
he's for sure top 5 receiver right now. And he's probably top 5 of the last decade. Probably top 3.
He's T.O., but faster.
And he can't get a deal despite almost single-handedly winning the team a Super Bowl. And really, really being the guy that kind of transcended that franchise from Michael Turner, solid team, to
Roddy
a team
White.
that could actually be a contender. A team that you actually took serious. Like,
forgot about Roddy White.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Roddy White, Michael Turner, like the end of Tony Gonzalez, like there was a solid team, but it wasn't until Julio really became an elite player that you were really afraid of him. Anyways, so what I'm trying to say about Julio, though, is the same thing. He wants more money because he's like the 7th or 8th top receiver.
He has like 3 years left on his deal.
Exactly.
3 or 4. That's just bad negotiation.
That's bad negotiation, yes, but at the same time,
Le'Veon still hasn't even been really paid yet.
Yeah.
There's the difference.
He got the franchise tag, guaranteed money.
Franchise tag isn't a long-term deal, though.
But you get all the cash up front.
For 1 year.
And it's usually more than what you would get on the front end of a regular contract.
That's trading short-term success for long-term sustainability.
I see what you're saying, but it's like
That's not bad negotiating.
I'm not going to cry about you.
Okay, but that's in the collective bargaining agreement.
Exactly.
That's the only option he has.
Exactly.
And then Julio, he'll just keep getting fined, even though he's supposed to make $10 million this year. They're going to fine him for every day he doesn't show up. Le'Veon said,
the reason why Julio,
I'm not going to show up to week 1, and I don't blame him.
The reason why Julio's at where he's at is not bad negotiating. It's just the way the league works. It's the reason why we're seeing Khalil Mack and Aaron Donald not either of them get a contract, because they're essentially at a standstill waiting for the first one to sign a deal so the next one can get more money. And that's just kind of how the league works. Julio gets his number, then Calvin Johnson sees it and wants more. Then Antonio Brown wants
then
more.
Julio, then Antonio.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever.
But it's like,
that's just the way the league works.
But it's different because remember during the NFL draft, they started calling players all OWs, offensive weapons. Dexter McCluster, they said Reggie Bush was an offensive weapon at one point, and then he actually showed like, no, I'm actually a pretty good running back. I just got a raw deal and no rodents.
Dexter McCluster, the dude for the Panthers.
Curtis Samuel, but
Curtis Samuel, same.
Christian McCaffrey, offensive weapon.
Christian McCaffrey, what's the dude for the Titans right now?
Not Adoree Jackson. He's a pure corner, but
before McCluster. Because McCluster went to the Titans too.
Yeah, but he was mostly with the Chiefs. Michael, I said the Chiefs. Guess what? Every time I
think Thomas. I mean,
every time I think of the Chiefs,
that's what I'm saying. It's like, yeah, those guys are offensive weapons, but it's because they didn't have a position. Like, Reggie Bush was a running back. Yes, he played offensive weapon. Who would have been a first-round receiver. He played offensive weapon, but he was a running back. Like
he was used. He
lined up as a running back.
He was used as a decoy.
He lined up like his position was a running back.
The Saints used him just for that. But
bro, you tell me a running back that doesn't take pride in being a running back. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's like
McCluster was like
it's convenient. It's convenient for Le'Veon Bell to say that. I get what he's saying.
But he says I'm a running back and
he's
more.
He's essentially saying I'm the focal point of the offense.
He is,
and I deserve to be paid as it. I deserve to be the highest paid player.
Offensive line.
I deserve to be the highest paid player. That's basic. But that's what I'm saying. It's like, bro, just come out and say it. Just say you want more money than AB.
But they know that.
He's trying to be politically correct. Just say it. You want to get more money than AB. He's your teammate. He's a few years older than you. He's more in the cluster of receivers when you're far and away the best running back in the league.
The scary thing is if Le'Veon was a receiver, he'd be one of the best slot receivers too. I don't see how he couldn't catch 80 balls a year out the slot if he just gave up running back. That's how talented he is. Therefore, he should be paid for it.
But he's never going to get that, so that's why it's like.
But
it's like you're saying he should get that.
The harder he fights, is the more money a guy like Todd Gurley will get.
It's like you're saying he should get that, but that's like me saying I should get $100K. I probably should get $100K. I have a lot of skills. I can do a lot of things. I have a lot of network. I've worked hard. But if no one's going to give me $100K for all the reasons, all the underlying reasons that as far as just my background, my last name, my resume, the resources I've been limited to, the people I have access to, then it doesn't matter that I think I'm worth that. Because I'm not going to get that.
Because they're not willing to pay it.
Exactly. And that's what the issue is with the NFL. Because guess what?
But that's
Le'Veon Bell is not going to get $14 million anywhere else.
15.
Anywhere. Nowhere. No running back is getting that.
Here's where I think he went wrong.
Gurley's not getting that either. And Gurley could be a better player than Le'Veon Bell.
He's faster than Le'Veon.
But as far as an investment, I'm putting my money towards Le'Veon Bell because he's shiftier and he knows how to duck contact better than Gurley does. And he didn't blow it. Yeah, exactly.
He got hurt in other places, but the concussion thing and the weed thing. But when it comes to a guy like Bell, you have to factor in that as a running back, he should have never looked at why would you look at a 5-year deal? I would take 3 years, upload my money, front load my contract. And if I'm trash after 3 years, you ain't got to pay me. But for the next 3 years, you need to be paying me like I'm the best player on the team because I am the best player on the team. That's why I would why 5-year contracts are for suckers, honestly. It's to the point, even I'll take this outside of football. Like, let's say you would get a car. In the old days, it would take 3 years to pay your car off? No more than that. And then at one point it switched to 5 years. 5 years is essentially the standard. And now it's to the point where some people are taking 7 years to even 10 years to pay off a car. That's just bad investment. That's bad negotiation on your part. And it's just not smart when there are 31 other teams and there's you. But you only have really 3 years left. And let's say just pure eliteness. I'd be like, no, pay me for these next 3 years with an option for a 4th year or 5th year. But don't ask for 5 years, $70 million, because, again, I think it goes back to players just being too loyal. Because
I think it's not even that, bro. It's not even that.
He said, I really want to be a Steeler, but this is
it's
probably going to be the last year.
Dude. It's not even that.
Cats want to be too loyal to teams, so they'll willing
That's
to spread
not what
the
it
money
is.
out.
It's not what it is. It's not what it is at all.
I think he should have taken
I don't think it is.
years more money.
I don't think it is. I think players, they're just kidding themselves, to be honest, because
some players,
the way life works, I don't care what professional you're in,
you get what you negotiate.
Exactly. And besides that, you can only negotiate based off of what you've earned before
and leverage,
what you've made before.
What you can leverage, not what you. It doesn't matter what you've done before. Plenty of cats didn't get paid off. But that's what I'm telling you.
That's what I'm telling you. What you made before is part of your leverage, because the option is walking away and not making anything. That's your leverage.
Yeah.
So until Le'Veon Bell just says, F it, I'm not playing, he's not going to get that money. That's the only leverage he has, is I'm not playing.
Speaking of people who got paid, though.
And him playing has nothing to do with him being loyal to the Steelers. That's him, the way he's wired, his ego, him being a football player, and him wanting to play.
But also, I think he really knows that this is a Super Bowl offense. He knows it. So if you're this close, you've been this close for so long, and you're finally
take the deal. That's what I'm saying.
But that's a team-friendly deal.
What do you want, man? It's like, what do you want?
I'm just playing devil's advocate for
no. I'm not talking to you. I'm just talking to Le'Veon here. I'm saying, you know what? Yeah. And that's probably what they're telling him. What do you want? You want to play? You want to not play? You want to be on a contender? You want to not be on a contender? How can we help you? Because you want everything, and guess what? I'm a businessman. I'm not giving you everything.
Yeah, I'm not giving
that's
you
how it
everything
works.
You want, because that's just bad negotiation.
Exactly. And that's how you get these shitty deals and these free agent flops and these running backs that fall off of 30.
Like Jarvis Landry, great deal. He got a great deal.
You're not like Le'Veon Bell's a great player, but you're not telling me he's getting Kobe money.
No one's getting, first off, no one in the NFL.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
That's two different sports. We're just saying, if you know contracts are guaranteed, you should be betting against yourself.
You're not going to get that Kobe loyalty figure, whatever. I know it's not $30 million in the NFL, but whatever the equivalent of that is in the NFL, you're not getting that, regardless.
It would be like the center.
You're not Kobe to the Steelers.
The running back position is the center position in the NBA.
Something.
No
like
one's
that.
giving a center $100 million. Boogie Cousins turned down 2 years, $40 million.